baseball game got
I call tonight's meeting to order of June 7th, 2022. Tom Chapa.
Here.
Heather Del Conte.
here.
Pamela Dowd.
Here.
Lisa Glidden.
Here.
James McKenzie.
Here.
Sean Onmek.
Here.
Linda Sereno.
Here.
Zachary DeMont. Next is floor to the public. It is expected that the speakers will... Oh, geez, I'm sorry. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America
and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Floor to the public. It is expected that speakers will conduct themselves in a civil manner and will be ruled out of order for any statement that constitutes a direct threat against officers, employees, or students of the school district or that is obscene. No personal attacks will be tolerated, nor should any speaker address specific district personnel or students by name or suggestion. Questions or comments concerning the matters that are not on the agenda will be taken under consideration and referred to the superintendent for appropriate action. Members of the community may comment on any matter related to district business. The board president may request a brief description of the topic the speaker plans to address. Any group or organization wishing to address the board must identify a single spokesperson. Presentations should be as brief as possible, and no speaker will be permitted to speak for longer than 3 minutes. At this time, if I could have Brandy Norton come to the mic, state your name and address, please.
My name is Brandy Norton. My address is 1082 Middle Road in Oswego. Good evening, Dr. Calvin and board members. Again, my name is Brandy Norton. I am the vice president of the Oswego High School Band Parents Association. I'm the parent of 2 marching bucks who are also involved in the day program. I've been a marching buck staff member on and off for 11 years. I'm an alumni of the music program and the Marching Buccaneers. The OHS Band Parents Association is a collection of parents who support the band program at the high school. This support includes the marching band, the winter guard, and the day program. We help with lodging of guests, artists, and conductors, provide snacks for our students during band camp, and are also able to support the marching programs by purchasing additional props, uniforms, uniform pieces, equipment, or flags as needed. As you may know, each year the band parents, in association with the marching band, host the Pageant of Champions. This is a wonderful event where our students in district are able to welcome bands from around the state to compete. This event has been hosted for 42 years and has always been a self-sustaining event. The funds raised during the event cover the costs and often make us money to help support the program in the ways I explained earlier. With the new stadium, we were lucky enough to have 11 bands attend this year, the most bands we've had in a very long time. This was very exciting for us as we were hopeful for a great event that would also bring needed funds to the organization. There was one thing we didn't factor in, the concession stand. Over the years, we had built and run our own concession stand that would make us a fair amount of money. In 2018, we brought in a net of $1,031.17. In 2019, we brought in a net of $992.06, just through concessions. Knowing that we were expecting 11 bands at the 2021 pageant, we were anticipating to make at least the 2019 amount in concession profit. While we understand the district's position on running the concession stand, this did mean that we took a hit. In order to run the pageant, there's a variety of expenses that come along with it. Some of these include hospitality for visiting bands, hospitality for our judges, program printing, signage for parking, and paying for the judges. The New York State Field Band Conference sets the prices for many things that we have no control over. One of those things is the fee for judges. There are 7 judges for the event, and each is paid $400. This is a $2,800 fee that the band parents have always been able to pay for. These judges' fees were offset by concession profits in years past. This year, that was a fee we just had to pay. The pageant is by far our biggest fundraiser that allows us to support and enrich the band program. However, with the loss of concession revenue and the fact that we also had to pay $377 in concession fees to feed our students that day, this was a big hit to the band parents. The costs of food services, judges, stipends, hospitality for the judges, and for the visiting bands all came out of any profit we made that day. With all of that said, we continue to appreciate the district's support of our music program, which we all know is one of the best around. We would respectfully request that the district consider paying our judges' fees. At this point, it's $2,800 for the pageant moving forward so that we can dedicate more support to the programs, enriching and enhancing them to become even better. I know this isn't a time for questions, but we'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Brandy. Would it be possible to get just those itemized things in writing, kindly?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yep,
Thank
absolutely.
you. Oh, yeah, send it to the superintendent's office directly. Okay. And we do have a wonderful program. We really appreciate everything you guys do for our Bucks, our marching Bucks.
So we pay the judges that day. So they come for the show, which is October 1st this year. Put it on your calendars. But yeah, we pay them right that day.
Next is Jim Ekman.
My name is Jim Ekman. My address is 113 County Route 1A, Oswego, New York, and this is a continuation of the last meeting where I was discussing the issues and concerns I have with the wrestling program for the city of Oswego. On the page I turned in to you is page 3 of 7. We got down to D5 is where I had left off. We were talking about not having enough coaches for the varsity team, having only one paid coach, limiting what access we have to other events and activities, tournaments, and putting the junior varsity kids at risk because they have to compete against varsity players because we don't have enough coaching staff. Number 5 talked about if we were at a match and one of these students got hurt with only one coach there, what would have to happen is that whole match would have to stop and the entire team would have to go with that player to the hospital or to leave that area because there's only one individual paid coach. That's a problem. If the coach gets sick, as a volunteer coach, I was not allowed to conduct the practices. So that means we don't get to practice. So that concludes all of the number 1 items about having only one paid coach. Again, just a refresher, the modified coaches, there's 2 paid coaches. High school, we only have 1. So my question to the group is, why is that the way it is? Number 2, the district has just spent millions of dollars to put this football stadium in. We did that, and we, the coaching team, we don't have a place to practice. We had to be bused from the high school over to the middle school for us to practice. That takes time away from the kids' ability to learn and get the skills they need. It's a very individual sport. It takes a lot of one-on-one coaching with individuals. You can't just teach a group and everybody does it. That's just not the way it works. If you think about wrestling, that is the only physical contact, hand-to-hand combat sport in all of the schools. Boxing's a close second, but wrestling stands out by itself. There is a nice area that is set up for the modified wrestling team. They have a designated room. The mats are there all the time. They go there and they practice. At the high school, we don't have that. We have to share the gym with all of the other activities that are going on. So every time these boys come in to practice, first thing they have to do is they have to roll out all the mats. Time-consuming effort. Then we have to tape them up. It takes a lot of tape, takes a lot of time. The other issue that we have to do, we have to walk over to the weight room, pick up probably 300 pounds of weights, and bring them over and set them on the mats, because the mats have a tendency to slide around, because we don't tape them completely. We just tape them to hold them together. If we don't do the weights on there, the mats slide around and it makes a tripping hazard for the kids that are on the mat. Why don't we have a place to practice? I went to 10 different high schools this year for matches and tournaments. Every school we went to, there is a designated room for the wrestling team. They don't have to do commutes back and forth. They don't have to roll the mats up every time they finish. It's a designated area for them. We just approved $97 million for the new budget. What I would like this group to think about is trying to designate an area for the wrestling team here at the high school or across the street, so we don't have to be bussed across the town. That was item number 2. After the practices, we got to pull all my time up.
I'll give you like 30 more seconds.
All right, I'll be back next meeting.
Thank you.
So just to be clear, I sent this to you in writing. I know that you received it. In terms of why we were, you have it. So why did we have to have the teams in different areas than where they normally are? Normally we have the wrestling team here in this particular area to actually do their practices. The last year has been very busy. When the year began, and around the time that the season was happening, we had to do some things a little bit different across the entire district due to social distancing requirements. We had to use spaces that we haven't used before for things that we haven't had to use them before for. For example, here in the high school, one of our gyms was needed for cafeteria for kids to be able to eat. We had to space them out by 6 feet because of health regulations. Wasn't something that we wanted to do, but it was something that we had to do in order to follow through with all of the regulations for the health department. So we did. We spaced them out, and then we had to use other spaces around the district temporarily so that we could still make sure that those activities were able to continue and to move forward. So the fix for this season, for the wrestling, for this particular team, was to move them to the middle school, and we bussed everybody there. We got them there as quickly as we possibly could so that the practices could continue forward. At the end of the day, our goal was to make sure that kids could still have the opportunities for wrestling, still be able to practice, and still be able to compete in the competitions. So that information has been shared, all right? And just so that people who are watching this knows that's why we did it. We did that because we had some health and safety regulations that we needed to follow, and so we had to space out some of our places across the district, and we had to relocate things temporarily. Now, our hope is that next year we'll be able to bring things back even more to normal. We're looking to get back to normalcy across the board wherever we possibly can, but that's why we did what we did. Okay, just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Next on the agenda is the superintendent's report with Dr. Calvin.
We're done with the public. I just wanted to thank everyone who came out to take time out of your busy days to come and give your comments. Thank you.
All right, so good to see everybody back tonight. Tonight we have a number of things to celebrate. I think I'd like to start first with congratulating a number of our students tonight. First, I'd like to start by congratulating our top 100 students. At the high school, we had 25 students from each of the different grade levels who were just recently congratulated and awarded for their academic efforts, and we are very proud of them. Want to give them all a round of applause. They did a fantastic job, and just want to congratulate those students, and we had a very great celebration. Those who put together the celebration at the high school just wanted to say, job well done, job very much so well done. Also, last night we had our awards night, and we celebrated with students from throughout the high school, and on top of that, we gave out over $300,000 worth of scholarships, and I think those are the check or cash scholarships, but then there are also college scholarships for multi-year if students choose to go with that. The total amount, I believe, was $1.3 million last night, and we had quite a few students there who were celebrated. I want to also celebrate them, if you don't mind. Job well done. Congratulations. Just about a week or so ago, we also had a number of athletes who signed on with NCAA collegiate teams. Here are some of those students who were there. They are on our website. We have them listed on our Facebook page as well. And we just wanted to celebrate those kids and say congratulations to you as well. We wish all of our students really well as they kind of continue to move forward with their collegiate athletic experiences. And here's a list of all of the students, and you can see some of the colleges that they're going to, and just a plethora of different places. And we can give them a round of applause too. Why not? Job well done. And I also want to just take a little time tonight just to talk a little bit about health and safety in terms of the district. So I just want to let folks know, I know that there's a lot of information on the news now because of all of the different tragedies that have been happening all across the country. But I want to just say a couple of things. First offhand, that our district is very committed to maintaining the health and safety of our students. We're doing everything we can every single day. That didn't just start because these issues have been going on, but as we were planning for the year, during the year, even after the year, our goal is to do everything we can to keep kids safe. Just so folks know, we had some questions, and I want to just make sure I point out to everybody that, yes, we do have New York State safety plans. Those plans are committed to the state education department. We had some people ask, well, how come I can't see the plan? Well, we don't share those plans with the general public because that could create some health and safety concerns. And so, we don't give out our floor plans. We don't, let people kind of know where everything is. And the goal is to make sure, the reason why we don't do that is to make sure we maintain the health and safety of our students and our staff, our entire learning community. We are constantly in conversation and coordinating with our local authorities. We are working consistently with the Oswego Police Department, the Sheriff's Department, our district attorney's office. Throughout the year, we have been constantly working with them. I have to say that they are great partners to our district. They really work with us with anything that comes up, any concerns that we have. They're always here right away. If there's an event going on that we have concerns about, they'll show up right away. We don't have to ask them 2 or 3 times. They just come whenever we need them. And so we are constantly having conversations and coordinating our efforts to keep kids safe and staff safe in our schools with each of these entities. We do practices throughout the year so that there are no issues that come upon us that we haven't practiced before. We do all types of drills: lock in, lock out, hold in place, fire drills. We do lots of different drills throughout the year, and we'll continue to do that as required by state law as well. We do encourage and we do enforce single points of entries. So when visitors are coming into our schools, we ask that they come through the main office, which is the single point of entry, and no one comes into the school unless they have to put their licenses into Raptor, that system. But we do ask people to come to the single point. Sometimes we have people who come to other doors, and they may knock on windows. Our staff often reminds folks, no, you must go through the front door. That is there to protect them as well as our entire learning community. And we also ask people to sign in, by the way, when they come in. Again, another measure we want people to do so we can maintain a listing of who is in and who is out of our schools. We continue to surveil our schools. Our schools. Local authorities have been actually upping that, especially over the last couple of weeks. Throughout Oswego County, the Sheriff's Department has put in an edict that all schools be surveillanced much more consistently. So when you come to the schools, you may see a sheriff car, you may see a trooper, you may see a local police officer who is around in our schools. Doesn't mean something's wrong. They're really there just to keep an eye on how things are going. And all the schools in the county definitely have been seeing those efforts even more so upped over the last couple of weeks. Just a reminder, we do have a security team in our district. We have SROs, we have security staff, and we have ongoing communications not only with them, but with others in our buildings. Thank you so much. We have safety teams in all of our schools that do discuss safety and concerns that may come up. We have a hotline, 315-341-2056. And we encourage our students and our staff, you see something, say something. Let us know if there's any concerns that come up as quickly as possible. We have this year and last year upped our number of mental health supports in our district. We have mental health agencies from Oswego Behavioral Health in most of our schools, we have one or two that they're not there, but students can go to those clinics, those sites, and get supports and their families. And we have a number of agencies in Farnham, Liberty, Oswego Behavioral Health, who are all in to help and provide mental health and counseling supports for students. So there's somebody around if folks do need help. We have a code of conduct that certainly we do stress, especially given this time, and well, period, throughout the entire year. But I think that the biggest thing that I want to make sure I share is that we also are working diligently as a district to have ongoing conversations with our students, but also to stress relationships. So it's through relationships that we learn about possible threats or concerns that might come up every day. Our SROs, I have to say, we've got some now, and counselors and teachers and staff who've got really great relationships with our kids. And whenever there's a concern that comes up, often those concerns are eliminated or really brought down significantly because they have relationships with our kids. So, we are working very diligently to make sure that we maintain great relationships, and it's through relationships, again, that we're able to resolve concerns before they get out of hand or become bigger concerns. And that is certainly a piece that we're going to continue to work at as we continue to move forward as a district. So we do have a number of items in place. We continue to work at school safety. Have we arrived? I don't think any district has arrived, right? So we just keep getting better at it each and every year and working at it. And I just wanted to share with our public and with folks that, yes, we are very concerned about our student safety. And these are some of the efforts that we engage in consistently, and we are continuing to work at safety. Any questions on that? Everybody good? Okay. All right. Tonight, last thing I have for the board is just I'd like to introduce our new athletic director and director of PE and health, Ms. Cynthia Lozon, who comes to us by way of Tupper Lake. Cynthia, you can come on up here to this microphone so everybody can see you. She is moving here to our area. She has been an athletic director, PE director, director of health for a number of years. She's currently the middle school and high school principal at Tupper Lake. She has quite a bit of experience in the principalship at Adirondack and as well as Tupper Lake schools. And she comes to us also, I learned last week, as an NCAA competitor herself. Did I hear that correctly? Two-time winner, but also has extensive experience with Section 10 and Section 3 and Section 5, knows the regulations well and has worked very closely with the staff. And so I'm very pleased to welcome Mrs. Lozon to our district. I think she's going to do a fantastic job, and I just wanted her to say hi to everybody tonight. So welcome.
I didn't know if I was supposed to sing karaoke. That's why I asked it tonight. But no, I'm very happy to be here. That was a nice synopsis. I usually don't say too much about any of the accolades with any of the NCAA running. That's what I did in college. I ran cross country, indoor-outdoor track, SUNY Cortland alumnus. So yeah, I do have those accolades, but those are usually buried. I don't usually bring those up, but I guess you did the research. I'm very excited to start here, and I did get a brief tour earlier with all the areas, but most of my time in athletics has been spent in Section 3, so it's a very familiar territory. And I know he said a lot about the Adirondacks, and now I guess I'm jumping right back into the snow belt. So very happy to be here, and it's nice to meet everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. I will say when he was telling us about you and he raving about you, which we're really excited about, we're always so worried about someone coming here and hating the weather. But when we found out you were coming from Tupper Lake, we felt quite confident you'd feel at home. So welcome. We're really excited to have you here.
Welcome. All right, board. So with that said,
Mathis, I had a question.
go
As
ahead.
you were showing the picture of the kids signing for the athletics.
Yes.
And we had talked about, and we've talked about for years, having a moment for kids to sign if they're going to be contracting with local facilities or businesses or companies. Is that going to happen?
let me check on that, and I will CC the board or write the board a note tomorrow. I'll check with Ryan to see on that.
Okay, great.
I'll certainly ask to see, for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, we'll check. All right, any other questions? Well, I'm all set. Thank you very much.
Next on the agenda is the Board of Education with item A. If I could have a motion, please.
Move it.
Second,
I'll second it.
any discussion?
I have just one quick thing. In the first sentence, the word meeting is there twice at the end of that sentence. It's just a very minor thing.
Okay. Okay. On which policy, Lisa?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong part of the agenda. I was at the policies are good.
Okay.
I'm on the minutes.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is the consent agenda, items A through C. If I could have a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
any discussion?
Yeah, so it's on A, the May 18th minutes, just at the end of the first sentence, just delete the last meeting.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is curriculum with Carrie Plass.
Good evening. There is just one item under curriculum in New York State textbook law as presented.
If I could have a motion, please.
Move it.
Second,
I'll second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is personnel with Mr. Miles.
First of all, we have A, administrative staff recommendation as presented.
Items A, if I could have a motion, please.
Move it.
Second,
I'll second.
any discussion?
Yes. I'd like to say to her that it was a pleasure meeting you during your interview. I feel that we're very lucky to have you, and I wish you very good luck.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Items, professional staff recommendation, items B through G as presented.
Items B through G, if I could have a motion, please.
Move it.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Letter H, elementary summer school as presented.
Items H, if I could have a motion, please.
Move it.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Can I have you call the roll?
Yep. Let me just get the paper here. Tom Chapa?
Yes.
Heather Del Conte?
Yes.
Pamela Dowd?
Abstain for personal reasons.
Lisa Glidden?
Yes.
James McKenzie?
Yes.
Sean Amnek?
Yes.
Linda Serino?
Yes.
Resolution has passed.
Items A through K as presented.
Was that I through K?
I through K, sorry.
Okay. Items I through K, if I could have a motion, please.
I'll move it.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I have a couple questions with the coaches. Some of the spots are missing. I just don't know if they've not been filled yet, and that's something is still a work in progress. There's no modified girls soccer coach, varsity girls soccer coach, or varsity boys volleyball coach.
Work of progress, still in progress, and so we'll get those on as soon as possible. Yeah. We'll check out where they're at.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Items L through R, support staff recommendations, L through R as presented.
Items L through R, could I have a motion, please?
I'll make the motion.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Letter S, substitute and temporary employees as presented.
Items S, could I have a motion, please?
Move it.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is finance with Carrie Plass.
Items A through F as presented.
Items A through F, if I could have a motion, please.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Does someone have a really hard question for Carrie on these?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next will be the student representative discussion. Zachary?
Okay. Yeah, a lot of events happening in these next this week and last week for the end of school. I just wanted to bring up a couple. Say congratulations to the students who attended the top 100 ceremony, the award ceremony yesterday. There was, as Dr. Calvin said, $1.3 million in awards, which I thought was very impressive. And congratulations to all those students. And then in advance to the athletic award ceremony that's happening this Friday. Okay. Just wanted to bring up a couple more events. There's some concerts coming up. Specifically, we had some band concerts last week. There's an orchestra concert tonight, and chorus tomorrow. Any support? These kids have just put so much work each and every year. So they would love the support if you could come out. Okay. Just another thing I wanted to bring up, 8th grade graduation ceremony is this Thursday. Everyone graduating 8th grade, congratulations. And the last day of classes, 13th for the high school, 14th for the middle school. Good luck to anyone taking any Regents exams, local exams, or any finals. Okay, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Next is items from the board.
Well, I have something. First off, I owe a huge apology to not only our nurses here in the district, but our nurses in the city, because Nurses Week was May 6th through 12th, and we had a meeting, and it's not like me. So I shout out to all of the nurses, especially in our district, who have really worked above and beyond this year and last, and part of the year before that, I think, right? Shoo. So I would love to just give our nurses a big round of applause, please. And as always, we do appreciate every other person and student and parent involved in this district. So stay strong. Not much time left. Congratulations to all you seniors. Good luck on whatever path you choose. Your future is bright. You just got to go for it.
I'm going to take liberties since we have some of the band parents here. I've served on the board for 6 years, not straight, but 6 years, and been, involved in the school for a lot longer. And in my time on the board, I will tell you, over and over and over again, I have just felt deep appreciation for the parents who have worked with our marching band. And not to take anything away from parents who work in other programs, but these parents have over and over again supplied and subsidized expenses for kids to be able to be involved and be a part of this very, very amazing experience. And everyone is welcome, and it's just a really amazing program, and the parents have really worked hard over all of these years, as Brandy pointed out, just to make sure that opportunity exists for everyone. And so I just want to express, just from all of the years of maybe behind closed doors, saying just how much we appreciate it. Totally appreciate all of the efforts put forth by our band parent association, so thank you.
Any other items from the board tonight?
I had just one question. Are we going to live stream graduation? And the reason I ask is because now people are used to that. So our family, far and wide can watch live.
Yes, Matt's.
Oh, you're not, I should be looking over there. Okay, great. That's awesome. Thank you. Grandmas and grandpas all over will be very excited. Any other comments? Zach, congratulations to you personally on your awards and all your honors this past week.
Okay. At this time, does the board need to move to executive session? Reason?
Couple reasons: information about a current or future investigation or prosecution of an offense that obstructs effective law enforcement if revealed, collective negotiations pursuant to Article 14 of Civil Service Law, and then the medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation, or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation.
Will there be a need for a vote after executive session?
No.
Could I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? You may adjourn to executive session.
Karen.